To Kill a Mockingbird, video 13. In the last video, I just read this first paragraph of the video, but I didn't have the chance to explain the words. Okay, so let's start here. So first of all, when Dill blushed, it means that he got, you know, a little bit red on the face. Another way to say blush is flush. You can also say, put it this way. I put in our list there an emoji with some, I don't know, red cheeks. Question: why did Dill blush? Answered: because he said he didn't have a father, and then the narrator asked, okay, so your father died? And then he said, no, he didn't die. And then, you know, the narrator said, so you have a father. So apparently there's something about his father, right? We don't know what it is yet. We don't know if we will ever know it. Okay, hush. Hush is to be silent, okay? There's some songs, right? There is a, I don't know, there's a beautiful song that it goes something like summertime when the living is easy, fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your dad is rich and your mom is good looking, so hush, little baby, don't you cry. Okay, so hush is be quiet. Don't confuse hush with rush. Okay, rush is like go fast, right? By the way, it's rush hour, not hush hour. Hush hour would be an hour where everybody would just stop their cars. You know, imagine the scene, you are in the middle of São Paulo, and then everybody stops their car, you know, and then there's their silence. Some people take a nap. That would be the hush hour. But it's not the hush hour, it's the rush hour, right? Rush hour. Okay, so this is hush, okay? Keep in mind, thereafter the summer passed in routine contentment. Thereafter is from that time on, okay? Let me give you the examples I put in our Quizlet list. Thereafter, he ceased to pay attention, okay? So, I don't know, the teacher was giving an introduction about the book and the teacher started reading. Thereafter, the student ceased to pay attention. One more. Inflation will fall, and thereafter, so will interest rates. Oh, okay, interest. Interest is, a nice definition for interest is the price of money. What do I mean by that? If you go to the bank and you get a bank loan, after a year, if you pay that loan, you won't pay just the same amount of money you got, right? You have to pay the money you got, plus fees. Of course, there will be some fees, but there will be interest, okay? If you put your money in the savings account, you are hoping that it will give you some interest. Chinaberry tree, I put a very nice picture there for you. It's a tree. I didn't know the name in Portuguese up to now, you know. I had 3 of those huge trees in front of my house. They're huge and they grow very fast, you know. And they have little we used to call little balls, but they're like little olives, but they're not edible. And I remember I spent my whole childhood playing with those, because we would get, you know, thousands of those little balls, and we would play like throwing at each other. It was so fun. But I just knew the tree as árvore de bolinha. But and then I looked up for the word chinaberry. I didn't know the word in English, and I found this tree. And then I learned the name in Portuguese, just now after learning in English, apparently is cinamomo, cinnamon, ou amargoseira. You know, I had never heard those words in Portuguese in my life. So I think I will continue in Portuguese calling it árvore de bolinha, and in English chinaberry. Chinaberry tree. I really like it. Okay. So they had 2 giant chinaberry trees in their backyard, and then they would try to construct a tree house there, right? Fuss. Fuss can be 2 very important things, and I put in our Quizlet both of them. One in the description with words, so fuss can be fight or argue, and the other in a picture. There is a boy, you know, probably his mom said no to something he asked, and now he is on the floor, you know, crying a lot. So he is fussing. I don't know. Everybody's so excited about the World Cup, and then I can say, for example, I don't like soccer, right? So I can say, I don't understand all this fuss about soccer. You know, it's just a sport, you know. Of course, some people wouldn't agree with me, right? And then Tarzan, of course, you know Tarzan, the Disney character. Of course, this character was created not by Disney, all right? It was created by one of those 3 guys I read there to you. That is Edgar Rice Burroughs, right? He's a very, very important writer when it comes to adventure books. The other 2 are Victor Appleton and Oliver Optic. But I have to tell you that Edgar Rice Burroughs is much more important than the other 2. I don't know the works of the other 2, but I was searching, and all of them are used to write books for kids, you know, like adventure books, like those series, right? But if I'm not wrong, according to a survey in Rolling Stones magazine, maybe, Edgar Rice Burroughs is one of the 3 most important authors when it comes to fiction. The other 2 are Isaac Asimov, incredible writer, and of course Tolkien, the guy who wrote The Lord of the Rings. But we have to expect that this guy would be there, right? Okay. And then there are some. For example, okay, we have Tarzan, but then we have Mr. Crabtree, the Rover Boys, Mr. Damon, and Tom Swift. So all of those things are referring to the books that were very popular among kids at that time, and to the characters of the books. Because remember, the idea there, the game was to pretend you were in those stories, right? So, I am going to be Tarzan, you are going to be, I don't know, the monkey, and you are going to be the bad guy. So we would pretend, we would play roles there, right? Okay, but then we have another character that is very important, that is Merlin. Merlin is a character in the Arthurian, you know, King Arthur? And so he's the magician that helped Arthur, you know, he's a magician and prophet. Keep in mind the paragraph says that his imagination was teemed with something. Let me get it here. Whose head teemed with eccentric plans. I put a very nice picture of a lot of bees, you know, all together. So they are teeming the place where they are there. The oceans, many parts of the oceans are teemed with life, you know. So you have this abundance, a lot of fish in it. Keep in mind that longing is the same thing as desire. So I put a picture there of a boy dreaming of a girl. He's longing for the girl, alright? Quaint is very nice. Quaint is a kind of a vague word, but at the same time, sometimes it sounds like a little bit old, you know. But it's interesting and peculiar. Okay, I put a nice house there. Take a look at the definition. Odd or old-fashioned in a pleasing way. Clever, ingenious, skillfully made. Okay, so I have this. And fancy is the same thing as imagination. Okay, so let me read the paragraph one more time, and then actually I would like you first to pause the video and read it to me in an audio, just for me to hear your pronunciation. Okay. Okay, I hope you have done it. Dill blushed and Jem told me to hush, a sure sign that Dill had been studied and found acceptable. Why? Because Jem is protecting Dill there. Thereafter, the summer passed in a routine contentment. Routine contentment was improving our treehouse that rested between giant twin chinaberry trees in the backyard, fussing, running through our list of dramas based on the works of, and then we have the three authors I told you about, Oliver Optic, Victor Appleton, and Edgar Rice Burroughs. In this matter, we were lucky to have Dill. He played the character parts formally thrust upon me. Formally, it's like in the past. Before Dill came along, all of those bad characters, they were thrust, like shoved, you know, upon the narrator. She had to do those so her brother would, you know, take the best parts, right? But now they had Dill, so Dill could, you know, play those roles. So, formally in the past, thrust upon me. The ape in Tarzan, Mr. Crabtree, the Rover Boys, Mr. Damon in Tom Swift. Thus, we came to know Dill as a pocket Merlin, you know, because he could just, like a magician, you know, a wizard, create those things. Whose head teemed with eccentric plans, strange longings, strange desires, and quaint fancies, quaint imagination.